and welcome to Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversation. I am your host, Gloria Walton, and I am just so excited to have this conversation tonight. As my guest tonight, we have the one and only Arnetta Rogers, the beauty innovator. And I've thought about this conversation all day, and I just could not wait to get before you so that we could share, so that I could share you. Let me just first say that Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversation started so many years ago. And here we are today in 2021, and we are just reaching out to mothers and daughters globally to bring to the forefront some of the awesome work that women are doing. And right behind us, of course, we see our daughters. And I'm blessed to have Arnetta tonight and her daughter, Bianca, and to our Facebook guests and to those that are joining us on Zoom Live. We are going to just dive into our conversation tonight. My heart is very heavy about the situation in Texas. And so as we enjoy the warmth of our home, let us just be mindful of those that are in harm's way. So, Arnetta Rogers, she is, when I looked at your LinkedIn and did my little homework on you, it said Arnetta Rogers, the beauty innovator. I was like, yes. And so, without any, without me talking as much, I'd like for you just to introduce yourself to us tonight.
Well, thank you, Gloria, my beautiful co-author. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having myself and my beautiful daughter here, my bonus daughter. And I just thank you. Okay. I have been in the industry for quite some time. I would call myself a veteran at this point. I love what I do. I am a cosmetologist at heart, but I have since moved from behind the chair, and I've always been a businesswoman at heart as well. And I would like to say a business girl, because I can remember as far back as middle school, putting on my mom's business attire and, going to school playing dress up in her business wear. So, you just never know where life would take you. And I'm happy, very happy to be here and to be acknowledged for my work. Yes. I'm thankful and grateful.
Now, the name of your business, it is mybmfsolutions.
Is the other way around. Is my BMF.
Solutions. Tell me about it. I like solutions.
Yes. Well, BMF, people say, why BMF? And why my before the BMF? Why not just BMF Solutions? I attached my to it because it made it personal, but BMF stands for my benefits, my medical, and my financial security. And of course, solutions, because we all need a solution to our problem. And so that's my BMF Solutions, was born. I started this business because I've been in the industry, and we're talking candidly here, right?
So it's Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversations.
Okay. But I started this business because I've been in the industry for quite some time, and it has its highs and its lows. being self-employed in any industry has its highs and lows because you are typically that number one person who oversees it all.
Right.
Whether you know what you're doing or not, it doesn't matter. You are that person who, if you decide to become self-employed, starting out, you're doing everything. And for our industry, it was easy to make the money because we loved what we do or what we did. For those of us who transitioned from behind the chair, but passion alone won't get it. Passion alone won't, help us put our affairs in order.
Right.
And so over the years, I kept seeing my colleagues drive the nicest cars, even some of them having really nice homes.
Right.
But did they really own them?
Mm.
hmm
Yes.
And did they want to own them?
Yes.
Right? So we were pretty much stuck in a place where we were made to look good and make others look good.
Yes.
But at the core of it all, we were totally messed up. Like just totally, it was a mess, to say the least.
Okay.
And I try to be my best self. I have not always been that. And I'm still a work in progress, just like everybody else.
Yes, we are.
Right? Yes, we are. It's
Yes,
always
we are.
something to do
Yes,
to
we
make
are.
ourselves better. Um, But when I went through the process of losing everything that was dear to my heart, uh, people in my family, my mother being one of them, my aunt who was just a phenomenal woman, just as my mom, and losing the house that my mom had, left for us to take over, that was devastating.
Yes.
So, all I had was I always had my family intact, though, my immediate family, my daughters, my son, my husband, we all have our highs and lows, even in that.
Right.
But I've always had that core value in family. But outside of that, it looked good, but it was a mess.
Okay.
And so I went on a journey to clean my mess up first.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I thought, oh, this worked,
Okay.
it worked. And it was
You
a
take us on that
foundation.
journey?
Ma'am?
Can you take us on that journey a little?
Yeah. Well, the journey began when I lost everything. And I made the decision to move my family. My husband and I made the decision to move my family to Charlotte, North Carolina. And when we first moved to Charlotte, it was tough. It was rough. My husband had to work still in the state of Maryland
Mm-hmm.
because he couldn't find a job right away to move with us. So for a whole year, we were in Charlotte, North Carolina, uh, going back and forth, he traveling to see us and pretty much funding us with his check. And as a cosmetologist, let me just say, you never lose that skill. That's a skill that you can make working for you. And I'm a hustler at heart. I'm
Okay.
a go-getter. And so I beat the pavement and I found where the happening or popping salons were. And it's funny you speak of Fantasia because the very first salon that I worked in, she had part ownership in.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was a March. I think it was a March, Salon in March, something like that. But the salon was in Concord.
Concord.
It was in Concord, North Carolina, and Mike Mentor, and who is a NFL football player or former NFL football player, and his sister had ownership in a salon there, and so that was my first salon. They had breakup of sorts, and the salon dissolved.
Mm.
I am a person from all walks. I can be with the highest of the high and the lows of the lows. And so I went, huh?
You're saying you'll fit in.
I'll fit in. I'm a survivor. I was taught to be that way. I come from Southeast DC. And, when you grow up in a place like that, you learn to survive.
Yes.
And because I had some beautiful women in my family and great support systems around me that would, crack the whip when I needed it, and teach me etiquette when I needed it, and book smarts, all of those things. I was a mixture of both and a little bit of in betweens.
Okay.
So I was able to find my way and do my research around the city, and I found where they were making money in Charlotte. And
Okay.
you know where they make the real money in Charlotte, and in really any cities. You go to the hood.
Good. Yes. Yes.
So that's what I did. And I think I may have been there a good month. And right off the break, I was making 700 to 1,200 a week. And I was a new stylist in the city.
Okay.
Of course, that came with some jealousies and some, name callings and all types of things, right? But because, again, I'm well equipped with what I needed to fight spiritually and physically, those enemies before long, became my friends. Yeah. And so my husband eventually joined us. I eventually opened up a salon on North Tryon Street in Charlotte, North Carolina, right next to the Walmart. It was a busy area. Yeah. And so stayed there for a little bit, sold that salon, and then I went to another, and I always stayed on the north side. But I went to another salon and, built that up. It was turnkey, and it was already a stylist, and he wasn't a barber, but it was a gentleman in there, and he was popping. He was getting it. Okay. So, and we were directly across from a beauty supply store, but it was actually there that the vision came to me, because I'm a helper. And I just got tired of seeing us go around and around in this circle that we couldn't get out of. It wasn't a maze, it was a circle, because we were chasing our tails. We were making all of this money, but yet some of us were still on government assistance. And I'm like, why? Why? And then they would look at me and think I had it all, because I was always an excellent manager.
Okay.
What made me lose everything that I had was a major investment, because being self-employed, we take risks.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that risk, that, set me back. I lost $64,000.
Mhm.
Right. And so it was a ripple effect. Moving forward, I just got tired of seeing us in a place where we were pretending. We were pretentious. I don't like to be fake. People that know me, they know I give 110% of myself, until I find that you are either taking advantage of that or using me in some way. And a lot of times you can, apologize, and I'll forgive you, and you will not get a chance to do it again, because my eyes are open now. But I won't turn you away in most cases, because I am a lover of people. That's just what it is.
So how did you get from North Carolina to Maryland? Because you're now located in Maryland, right?
I am. My husband and I, after 7 years of going back and forth, because what I didn't tell you yet is I got the salon in Charlotte. After selling the first one, I obtained another one. And by now it's going on 7 years. And my husband, he wanted his wife, right? Because I was going back and forth for 7 years, every 2 weeks, because in that interim, I obtained salon suites in Maryland. So I would go to Maryland and do my clients and manage the salon suites and stay a few days and then go back to Charlotte. And you wouldn't believe Charlotte, my clients in Charlotte started to get jealous of me going back and forth too.
Well,
And I'm like, what? How? Because I'm giving of myself in both ways. So I thought I was helping the situation by bringing my Maryland stylist to Charlotte so that everybody could meet. And, Maryland was fine, but Charlotte still was kind of stuck in their way. So ultimately, I end up leaving Charlotte and we moved back to Maryland. My husband said I needed to choose. And I did. And his mom was getting older. And so we wanted to, spend more time at home with family. My daughter was in Maryland. Our children was grown now. And so family was home.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what we did. We moved to Maryland.
About so you went from behind the chair to management, and your company now. Tell me about the company now, because what it says is that your solutions was both professional and personal.
Yes.
Okay.
It was personal because I had to do it first. It became my own. I knew it was something that was needed. I knew health was needed. I knew life was needed, some sort of retirement. I knew we had to stop lying about our taxes. I knew we had to start filing our taxes.
Okay.
So I knew there was a system that needed to be created within our industry that we could break the shackles, if you will, release the chains from being in bondage or being afraid of letting government assistance go for the benefits of having health care. Okay. If government workers or any other entity could have a health care or a life insurance group system, why can't we? Why wasn't it already developed? And in my mind, I thought it was developed when I started this journey. So I started looking for those who were doing what I thought we needed. And in my research, I found there was no one.
Okay.
Not one.
You created a business to fill a gap in the industry that you loved.
Yes.
So I'm thinking about, and particularly in our neighborhoods, there's so many salons, so many, as well as so many great stylists that unfortunately, because of the overhead, work at their homes.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like you created something that would benefit your overall industry, but as well as the smaller business, the smaller salons. Because what I hear you saying is that you saw an industry that needed management tools, insurance tools, life insurance tools. And I do understand when you said, paying the taxes because you're self-employed, and it's so I understand that. So now how long have you operated this my
BMF, business, money, medical,
oh,
and
okay.
finances.
Tell me again.
Is business, medical, and financial security.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it is designed for the cosmetologist.
It was specifically designed for beauty professionals.
Okay.
And my motto is beauty entrepreneurs, we care.
Oh.
And that actually came from when I first came into the industry of insurance. I was under a woman who had Teachers We Care. And so I, pretty much piggyback off of my niche and said beauty entrepreneurs we care, because it literally it was born out of me caring for not just myself but the industry at hand. Because what I know is that the system that was created will help professionals want to do the right thing and be able to manage a legitimate business. Now, it's one thing to say that you're in business and you have a business name and you have an EIN number and you have all of those things on the outside that make it look like you're doing the right thing. But it's one thing when it's another when COVID hits. Yes. And you're exposed, because now you can't get any of this free money because you haven't filed your taxes.
Yes. Okay.
You haven't reported a darn thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And so I wondered, God, why me? Why are you giving me this? As I began to continue on the journey. And he said, because it's you. It's you. And it wasn't until COVID that I realized he had been preparing me for the past 6 years for this.
Yes, yes.
Because you can't tell us anything until we are exposed.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, you're also an educator.
Yes.
Let's tell me about that. What are you? Does that mean that you're a teacher in a particular system, in the school system, in the beauty system? Where are you teaching?
Well, I am an educator with the National Beauty Cultures League. And the National Beauty Cultures League is the oldest accredited educational institution for beauty professionals. And right now, because of COVID, like a lot of other businesses, it's changes that are evolving within, but it is good. It is great, actually. And we right now have open enrollment. So if there are any beauty professionals who desire to have their professional degree in cosmetology, the doors are open.
Okay.
Yeah, you can visit dmvabc.com and enroll. Put my name beside your name, because I am a member. I'm the Hodges, actually, where I welcome the new members for my chapter. So
can you repeat that slower, just in case someone wants to write it down and get some new students? Repeat that.
I am on the new member committee. I welcome members for our chapter. And if you would like to become a part of the Maryland chapter, you can visit dmvabc.com. dmvabc.com and fill in your information, put my name beside it. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. She put that in the chat box for some of you, for those of you who are interested. But it's a great organization. My system is actually mandated. So for anyone,
Hey, tell them how they can get your system.
Actually, they can go through me, or you can enroll in the school. You can, if you would like your degree, definitely go to DMV ABC, and my system is mandated with the institute. So before you graduate, you have to take my course.
Wow.
And
Only in Maryland?
and from all states, because when you enroll, you choose your chapter. Your chapter determines the state you live in.
Okay.
So let me just say that. But the school is nationwide. It services nationwide. So if you're in South Carolina, they have a South Carolina chapter. If you're in Virginia, they have a Virginia chapter. So, but at any rate, you could still go to dmvabc.com and get connected with the national organization so that you can get connected to your chapter. But it is awesome. You meet so many talented people in the industry. It's where you find your value and bring your value to the industry.
I am loving your story. You to take us on the journey, and I am loving. Oh my, that is just. Oh my, God has really blessed you. Now your beautiful daughter over there, this Bianca. Tell us. I see how beautiful she is, and so are you in the beauty industry as well?
I am not.
Okay.
I love it, but I am really not good with it. I love to just pay people.
Oh, you sound like me.
Especially the hair is the worst. The hair is the worst.
Yes.
But no, actually no. In the food industry, but not beauty at all. No.
They go together.
Yes, they both make you happy.
Well, interestingly, my daughter actually is a salon owner, a unisex salon owner, and here she is, my co-host.
Hi. She's beautiful.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
I wasn't sure, she's been newlywed for the last few episodes. So we have a hello from Sharon. Hello, Sharon. And again, let me just say hello to our Facebook viewers, as well as those that are sharing with us on Zoom. And I hope that you are enjoying Arnetta's story as well as I am. I go to a salon, but you don't know. And although my daughter is a salon owner, I don't know the behind the scene. Mm-hmm. And so you've really shared some valuable nuggets. There's someone.
Sharon is actually our local president for our chapter with the National Beauty Culturist League, and my sorority sister.
Hello, ladies. I'm sorry. You know how we do. We try to get in where we fit in.
During COVID, yes, you have to get in where you fit in. That's quite okay.
Downtime, but I'm truly enjoying Arnetta's story. I've learned so much about her. She's like an onion, you just keep peeling and peeling, yes. Learning more stuff. So yes. I really wanted to get in here because I wanted to hear the mother and daughter's story. So this is an awesome topic. So yes. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you. And it is an awesome mothers and daughters, the relationship is like no other relationship. And this is dear to my heart. And I hope that our followers will follow us, because I plan to go travel globally to interview and to speak to mothers and daughters. Because you know what happens? There's quite a few mothers and daughters that work in the same field. That's how that is definitely interesting. Mm-hmm. I look forward to meeting, those types of couples, because our daughters, well, my daughter, by profession, I was a social worker. And I've always said that my daughter is a social worker at heart, although she chose a different profession. She went from wanting to be a doctor to, and she
Wow.
always told me that she would. And I said, no, you won't. Yeah, you're gonna go. But she loves it. She's very talented. And I hope that this information is helping her tonight as well. There's so many. I've worked with other women that want to be, want to own their own salon and want to get into this field, and to expand, not only to be a cosmetologist, but to be a business owner. It's not good enough just to work in someone's shop or to work for someone. But when our daughters can be empowered to become their own CEO, to become their own salon owners. And I think that what the story that Arnetta shared tonight, and I was so glad she said, can we talk candidly? And I appreciate that so much, because it opens the door for those that are viewing to understand, that someone else in your field understands the struggle and understands, and you said something in terms of it's wonderful when you own a business, but when you own a legitimate business, then that says something totally different. And I pray that those that are listening that need help, sometimes you just don't know how. I started a business without a blueprint.
Right.
Yes, made mistakes, but it has been a learning experience. And so for those that are interested in cosmetologists, but you took it far beyond being a cosmetologist. As you said, you came from behind the chair, So I'm going to give way for Iranda, who is the owner of Infinite Unisex Styles in Passaic County, to see if there's any questions or comments, or just come on in.
Yeah. I'm an open book.
Arnetta.
I don't know. I guess me and my husband. My husband is the barber, and when we were courting, we got into the business together, and our main area of difficulty is actually just finding people to work with. That's the struggle. Everyone's hustle is different, and so it's been kind of difficult to find people who fit in. And then you find people who fit in, but their work ethic is in the garbage. So how did you handle that?
That was definitely a struggle, because again, you have to be the best example. And what I found in my experience, Maryland was totally different from North Carolina. So geographically, you have, different mindsets and different backgrounds and all of these things. And sometimes when you try to show people, they get defensive, because in their mind, they know, who are you to tell me? Because I've been doing this for 20 years. And so, they try to be your equal. They try to compete. They try to do everything but be cohesive and come together. So what I found, and it worked for me for the most part in Maryland, I would say being a Dudley Diamond, right? Because I've been under Dudley's tutelage, 10 years in the industry. I was manager of the first salon that Dudley owned in Maryland. They had the school, but I was manager of the first salon. And 12, would you believe 12 stylists in there? we got along and we made money. Each of them, no one in there made less than $1,000 a week. And it's because I engaged with them. We had weekly meetings. We had righteous competitions. And we had our days where they would, I don't know, they don't do this anymore. Even pre-COVID, they didn't do it because, we had gotten so, bougie. But you have to go get your client. You have to promote yourself other than, social media. People like engagement. When you're in the grocery store line, you look at their hair and you say, hey, you speak to them. You have to know how to engage with people if you are going to be self-employed in any industry, but especially if I saw someone with their hair undone, that was my client. Right? So I became, to answer your question, I became the example for them, and they respected me, and I was close to their age, and still to this day, they still call me Miss Arnetta.
Wow.
Right? And because there's a respect there for me and for them, and I was a protector. I wanted the best for them. So when you're genuine, and it's not about the money, because I made sure they had it first, because I knew I was going to get mine, because everyone wants their hair done by the manager or the owner. And I already had my clientele. So I made sure that all of my stylists ate, and 6 of those 12 went on to own their own salons. So I look at that as a success, right? And I still have the respect of them today. One of them actually has my complete system, from the management system to the insurance to, health, everything. They have the whole package. And I'm proud of that. So I would say to you, be the best example, and the best will come. If they want to go, let them. Don't worry about how you will pay the bills, because he always make a way. When I tell you always, he always make a way.
Yes, yes,
Respect is a bare minimum.
yes.
And if they do not respect you, you don't want them anyway, because they're going to poison everyone else. So get your system, such as mine, and we can talk later.
Yeah.
Show you how to set that up and monetize it so that you can help yourself and your staff, because when they come into your salon, you'll be offering health insurance and life insurance, which will set them up for retirement. And they will, even if they have their own entity within your establishment, you all, because this is your establishment and they have their 1099, but this is your business, you can offer group health insurance. They can be released from the shackles, if they're on them, with being attached to the government. Because when you're attached to the government, you can't file but so much, right? So
Arnetta, I'm going to ask if you and Iranda will have that.
okay, yes, ma'am. Because I'll get on a roll now. I'll get you straight right now.
Shout out to some of our live viewers, Barbara Henry and Mabel Austin and Irene McCoy and Cynthia Hughes and Tamika Tier and Sandra Bryan and my sister Walter May, and all the way from South Carolina, Walter May and Denise Myers. Hello, guys, and thank you for joining us tonight on Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversation. And I want to go to the next question, because Miss Arnetta is a best-selling author for In Command. Oh, Bianca, have you read your mother's chapter?
I have not. I actually, so I'm kind of old school. So I purchased the ebook, but I have just received my hard copy, and so I literally need to read from the beginning to the end. So I'm not just going to jump in at hers.
Yeah. And she said that to me when she received her book. She said, I'm not just going to go into your story. I have to read it from beginning to end,
Yeah,
which is,
my OCD won't allow me to just jump in the middle of a book, even though the chapters, everyone has their own story, but it's just weird to me. So.
So what did you think when you heard that her book had become a bestseller?
Oh, I wasn't surprised at all.
Okay.
I was proud of her. I don't know the other women, but I know her story, just being there and seeing it. So I've also know of the mountain tops and the valleys she's experienced, and just letting it stop her or keep her down. She's always inspired me. So I knew that if the other women had stories, even if they weren't similar to hers, they probably was, or just what's the word I'm looking for? Just I knew that it was going to be a good book, so I wasn't.
Arnetta, what is your chapter in command?
what is the name of the chapter?
Yes.
Like butter, her cup runneth over.
Like butter, her cup runneth over.
Yeah.
Now, what was that experience like? Because you've gone from, I mean, you're a business owner and an educator, so I'm sure writing came easy to you. But give us a little tidbit about your chapter.
Well, the chapter pretty much, I started from my first marriage. And I haven't shared, but Bianca is a bonus daughter from my second marriage. And we've been in each other's lives since she was 11. And I believe you're 31 now, Bianca?
Oh, two.
You're 31?
32.
32?
32.
She just turned 32 in December, guys.
Don't remind me.
Oh my God. But at any rate, the chapter is about my journey from my first marriage and, having my children and going through the ups and the downs of being in the industry along the way. I speak of a couple of relationships that I went through in the industry to help me to become a better person and basically stop leading as women. We lead with our emotions and to rise above your emotions into the thinking of God and morally doing the right thing, regardless of what you feel, will lead you on the right course. Because sometimes we do wrong things because we think it feels, it feels this way.
Yes.
So it must be right. If loving you is wrong, then I don't want to be right.
I want to be right.
But I learned through my studies that you got to go through the pain and let it burn to get to the right place, because you're not going to really get your true blessings until you do. And God is speaking to you, regardless of if you know how to get out of it or not. And I would encourage you to, gain some spiritual understanding of whatever your situation is to help you to become a better person so that you can get to the core of who you are and what you want to be and how you want to serve in this lifetime.
Is that advice that you would give to your daughter?
Absolutely. They get it all the time.
They get it all the time. So what advice would you give to a mother who is having some difficulties with their young adult daughter and relationships? Her daughter's in a bad relationship.
I'm looking at my daughter, and we have talked many times about relationships. I have two daughters. Uh, and I would say love yourself first, always. And they know that, they get that. She can probably tell you better than me because I've given them a million.
Talk, daughter. What instructions have you received?
Oh, well, throughout the years, plenty. We just had a whole conversation about a horrible date I had last week. So we really have candid conversations literally on a regular. But she always give good advice. Love yourself first. Seek God first. Talk to God about it.
Mhm.
Meditate, all that good stuff. Yes. But in order to, attract the right love, but a healthy love, it has to start within first.
Okay. You said something. She gives the advice. Do you take it?
Most of the time, I'd be telling a story if I said I took it all the time. Like she said, we always at some point, you do what you want to do too, even though you know it's wrong. So.
I guess this is not the show to hear about the horrible date. So
No.
I again, thank you for being so candid, Arnetta, about your journey.
Mhm.
And again, it is Black History Month, but any month to hear and to see young women rise above their situations and their circumstances, hats off to you. I celebrate you. I celebrate you for Black History Month as a business owner with an awesome daughter and being able to share, unapologetically of your struggles and about who you are, and to hear about this amazing system that you created. And the thing about it is sometimes we expect, let me say it differently. Someone said, said this saying about how God takes your misery and turns it into your ministry.
Mhm.
And it seems as if, you talked about the 7-year, 7 being the number of completion.
Mhm.
And you came from behind the chair to being this business owner, multiple locations,
Yes.
to developing. You saw a problem, and you answered the call
Yes.
with this business, this system that now is mandatory for cosmetologists, or those that are studying to become licensed cosmetologists must take. Oh my.
Well, not to become licensed cosmetologists, but to continue their education and get higher education with a degree through the National Beauty Cultures League. And it's so funny because many do not, and I know we're running short on the time too, but many of us don't even know that this organization exists. And so, and it has so much history to it, with it. And again, I would encourage people to go on to dmvabc.com to learn more about it. But before we go, can I just say briefly, give everyone a synopsis of what my business entails?
Yes.
And how they can get what they need?
Yes.
Okay, so for beauty schools, right, I developed the pathway to success. And what that entails is learning your blueprint. That's number one. Number two, business management. These are core values or courses that's within the pathway to success for the new cosmetologists coming into the industry, because if we do not start there, it's going to create more of us, and we don't want that, because we have something where we can clean up our mess. But the pathway to success is learning your blueprint, business management, proper insurances, government affairs, and higher education. Okay, if we have all of that for the new candidate that wants to learn, or student going into the cosmetology industry. It will give them such a great foundation. They will come out as legitimate business women and men. And that will change our industry. They will be able to file their taxes properly. They will be able to get off of welfare. They will be able to own homes, own and build generational wealth. Because it's something about when I learn it and I give it to my children, then they teach their children, and on and on and on. So that's what My BMF Solutions is about, creating opportunities for cosmetologists that can create opportunities for themselves and others. So having this management system, and it's so affordable. You can contact me through my website, mybmfsolutions.network. You can contact me via email, mybmfsolutions@gmail.com. I am currently working with the strategist, so things will be, the look and imagery of things will be changing really soon. But you can still contact me, because I found out some exciting news, and then I know we have to go. So I said in my post that I have a huge announcement.
Okay.
This is huge. It just came down today. Okay. So for all of the cosmetologists who have their own entity in a salon plaza dwelling, okay, so it used to be where you would have to get your health insurance individually or per entity. Now you can get health insurance, group health insurance, if the owner of that establishment offers it. So it is now my job, and for those of you, because I'm on work overload, I need more agents and I need more BMF specialists to spread the word. Because when I go in a salon plaza and I go to that owner who's leasing that space, now we can have group health insurance for everyone under one roof. That would be so inexpensive for everyone. And you're covered with Aetna or with Cigna. You're in network. Whatever you don't spend as a group at the end of the year comes back to you. So it's just amazing. So I just found out this information today, and I'm so excited because that's the last piece to the puzzle: group health insurance and group life retirement insurance for beauty entrepreneurs, all in one system. And it is amazing. So if you need a job and you want to come from behind a chair, call me, because I need you.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm going to make sure that that information is on our website.
Mhm.
And I am, again, thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you. Now I know why they call you the beauty innovator.
Thank you for having me.
You learned something tonight. Again, although, you know, my daughter is a salon owner, I don't have the information. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you again to our viewers. Thank you for Bianca for joining your mom tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to my co-host, Iranda Collier. Thank you, Sharon. And again, thank you to our Facebook viewers. I see, oh my, young lady I have not seen in such a long time. Karen, thank you for joining us tonight. This is Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversations, and we are here every Thursday having candid conversations from a variety of topics, and we are looking for mothers and daughters to share not just their relationship, but their business. I want to celebrate women and their daughters. We have to raise strong daughters, and we have to empower them with information, as you said tonight. Love yourself first. And so my daughter is the love of my life. I only have one child, and that is my heartbeats. And so that's why the subject matter is so dear to my heart. And again, you can find us on Facebook, Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversations, and our website is mothersanddaughters.info, where I will be posting Arnetta's information. And if you have not, please purchase In Command. I am also a co-author.
Yeah. Read them
Yes, so you will read my story, Bianca. It was a joy. And although we are co-authors, this is our first meeting.
Yes.
And so I thank you again. And I look forward to working with you on future projects. And I also look forward to you coming back and sharing the progress, because it is definitely a field that needs, I know in our community,
Yes.
our young salons need this information. You know, being an independent worker, self-employed is difficult, you know. So thank you again. Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversation. Sharon, thank you for joining us. You've been under that dryer a long time.
I'm done. I just wanted to say, when I said mothers and daughters, that's awesome, because I am a second generation licensed cosmetologist. My mom was one as well. So when I saw this, I said, I have to get on to hear, you all's story, because this business, being a cosmetologist, is, as you know, it's if you look back, you'll see an auntie or somebody down the line did hair on the back porch. So it's in our blood. If you look back down your family line, somebody did hair. So I'm glad that Arnetta is now bringing us into the future. So I wanted to hear and get on and hear.
We are past our time, but tonight did remind me. I remember in South Carolina when my mom went to cosmetology school, became licensed, and I guess that's where my daughter got it from. She did not get from me, because I enjoy sitting in the chair and being pampered. So she did not get it from me. But
nothing like someone else washing your head and you get to lean back.
Like it. But my mom, she now possessed. My mother has gone on to glory, but my daughter do now possess her curlers, her straightening comb,
yeah,
those things that are dear to us, because they belonged to my mother. So again, thank you for joining Mothers and Daughters Candid Conversation. We love you, and look, please join us every week if you can. I'm so grateful for this virtual platform. And let me just say this: if you find time, I am on the virtual stage tomorrow on with Shay Brown, the comeback champion. Yay! I know something about being down, getting up, and coming back. So if you have time, then you can hear me tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Shay Brown. That is the comeback champion. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing you again. God bless you, and thank you. And we celebrate you and your success, Arnetta. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And nice meeting you, daughter.
Yeah, have a good night. Be
Good night.
safe.
Good night.
Thank you, daughter.
And no
Right.
more bad dates.
I know, right?
Good night.